Good to hear from you too. Let me see if I can record this asking. And I'll just wait for which one are you? YouTube to load. Was
Wait, no. She wants to get sweets or something, so we're going for a bit. Are you walking or driving, driving? Both along. Okay.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Crypto Pulse Weekly with Dr. Damie. First, I'll start by saying Happy New Year to everyone. Congratulations for surviving the year 2020. It's great to have you around, and I think we can we can start a new year on a clean slate and pretend that we never had 2020. But all in all, we're thankful that we were able to get through the year 2020. So happy New Year, everyone. As always, we'll be talking through the various events that has happened in the world of crypto. I think we've missed about 2 or 3 weeks now, and so much has happened. I will try as much as possible to touch on a few, but quite a large amount of changes have occurred between the last time we had this Crypto Pulse Weekly and this week. So let's get started as usual. Usually we go through the review of the markets and see what's going on in terms of market updates. Then we'll do our crypto vital signs. Then we'll have a crypto drip, and then we'll take question and answers. I've tried as much as possible to screen out a lot of stories because everywhere is filled with stories of Bitcoin right now. Literally all the mainstream media, Financial Times, Reuters, all buzzing about Bitcoin and what Bitcoin is doing. Like like it was not there all along, and like we've been talking about this since practically since the beginning of last year. So we'll go through that, and then we'll just have a quick view of the technical analysis and what's happening on the markets. I'll give some insights as to what we should expect in the coming weeks or months, and then we'll go into quick Q&A. I do have a number of I want to talk about Bitcoin and Bitcoin Standard, and somebody that requested clarification on a particular app for people living in the United Kingdom. So let's get started on the market updates for this week. Very heavy on market updates. I'm sure you'll have read some of them yourself because it's been popping up in the news every day. Of course, we've seen a lot of volatility. The last time we had this call, basically Bitcoin was probably around 20 something thousand at the time. And everybody was already buzzing that we'll reach all-time high. And you know what next now? Are we going to dump like 30%? And it's almost like the holiday took over and Father Christmas just came down into the crypto world and Bitcoin continued to pump like mad. So yeah, I had to correct this because when I started preparing this deck, I typed Bitcoin hit all-time high at 40K. Then I changed it to 41K. Then I changed it to 42K. All in the space of 24 hours to show you how rapidly the market has moved. The market moved from what it was before it opened on Monday at the 30s, dropped by about, I think, 20%, dropped by 20%, and by the end of that day, it's practically recovered all of that 20%. And I keep telling people who always say, we're going to wait for the pullback. I'm going to wait for the pullback. I'm like, okay, might not really see that pullback until maybe 70 or 100K, by which time you could have as well as just bought when it was 30K. So there's a lot of volatility. It's expected because before now, Bitcoin was relatively a low market cap assets. But during the last 3 weeks, Bitcoin has crossed $500 million in market capitalization. As of now, I think it's sitting at $250 million alone. That's Bitcoin, not even talking about the cryptocurrency markets. So we've seen a lot of volatility. Of course, a lot of liquidation has happened on margin trades as well. I think on Monday it was about 190 million that got liquidated. And it's natural because institutional investors or heavy short sellers will try to wipe out the weekends by selling them shorts at very rapid intervals with very huge sums of money, maybe like hundreds of millions. So if you are holding a long position and it was margined, you could risk being wiped out if you don't know what you're doing. But I mean, for people who are holding spots, they had no issues. The price just dips and bounces back within a few hours. So obviously we're heading for the moon at this point. We took off from 20,000, now we're at 42,000, all in the space of 3 weeks. And of course, this is main news. Everybody's now aware of this. In terms of regulation, we have talks of cryptocurrency tax in Asia. I think it's Japan and Korea are talking about applying a 20% cryptocurrency tax. I expect to see that from 2022, most probably, in these climes. Kenya has also done the same thing. We all know about the XRP USDT saga. Just in case you don't know, the Security and Exchange Commission in the United Kingdom filed a lawsuit against XRP, the company that owns XRP, that they were doing some shady things. And it was a very long suit, almost like 100 and something pages of details. Long story short, they're claiming that XRP is not a security or it should be treated as a security. I can't remember the exact details, but it's quite messy. And it was bad news for people that are holding XRP. I had some XRP at that time. I had to sell them at a loss to, I think, Theta or Bitcoin. But of course, some people still held on. Some people held on and, were able to maybe sell at a higher price that they will have sold because XRP also pumped in the last 24 hours. But basically, it's almost like XRP is close to a death spiral, not because they might not win the lawsuit with the SEC, but because nobody wants to hold their money down waiting for them to come back, except, of course, people who made a lot of money from XRP. By the way, XRP was one of the highest performing cryptocurrency assets in the last bull run in 2017. Some people became millionaires just by holding XRP. So it might be difficult for people to let go of XRP because of that, prior performance. So I think XRP might eventually win the case because they have a lot of money and they have good lawyers as well. So, but it will affect the markets, and we won't know the outcome until February. The lawsuit is the case is going to be aired in February. So we will not know until February whether XRP is going to survive or not. I hear there's a USDT case as well, but that's also later in the month, and that's a separate story entirely. Some people feel it might cause some fraud in the cryptocurrency market, personal opinion, I think, well, XRP will dump like mad. Bitcoin will probably pump on the back of that, and USDC, the alternative, will probably start pumping as well. In terms of sentiment, of course, everybody now is talking about Bitcoin. I've been getting all sorts of calls from different people about, Bitcoin. Either people I've never talked to in a long time, or people I've spoken to in times past, just to advise that, you might want to consider diluting your assets portfolio with Bitcoin. A lot of calls on Bitcoins, and justifiably so. If you read the Financial Times on Monday, you will see that Bitcoin made the front page for the first publication of the year. So it's evidence of what I'll call institutional FOMO, which is institutional fear of missing out. That's happening now. If you've been following us since, I think since July, August, you will have heard me talk about the institutions gearing up to join in the cryptocurrency world and to put their stakes in the ground. Of course, that has come to stay now, and you have people like MicroStrategy issuing bonds, issuing debts, basically to buy Bitcoin and being oversubscribed. You have Grayscale buying up all the Bitcoins that are available on the market. Same thing with PayPal. So institutions are getting to know that, okay, this is a very good storage of value, better than gold. So we might as well just keep our money here. And this is January. This is January when everybody gets allocation on what they're going to invest in. So expect the price to pump. Personally, I think the price will go to 50K either this weekend or sometimes next week. If it goes to 50K this weekend, then we can expect that a significant part of next week will be a good dump. There will be a pullback because 50K is really overheated right now, like crazy overheated. I'll show you the charts. It's gone almost from parabolic to hyperbolic in terms of the price charts. So it's quite intense in terms of the buying pressure that we have on the markets. So overall, I think the sentiment is very strong. People are, really getting into crypto. Yesterday, for instance, many of the exchanges were crashing when Bitcoin hit 40K. So this was the news I was talking about. On Monday, you saw it on, the front cover of Financial Times saying high flyer Bitcoin value tops 30K. That was on Monday. When there was even a 20% pullback before the price recovered below 29. And between Monday and now, we're sitting at 42K now, 41K plus. So it's significant. It's very significant considering the fact that we came from 4K in March 2020 when the COVID-19 news was broadcasted and all the markets were crashing. Bitcoin dumped to 4K, and between now and then it's done 10x. Seems pretty impressive, but for people who have been listening since I think May, you'll have heard me say that we expect Bitcoin to do anywhere between 100 and 200K in the first instance in the next 12 months. Of course, there might be some pullbacks and cool-offs here and there, but the more institutions get to understand what Bitcoin is, the more it's going to become difficult for you to find Bitcoin to buy. That's just it. And for many people, they don't understand that Bitcoin has a very limited supply. We just feel like, okay, if it becomes too expensive, the producers just produce more. I was having a discussion with a friend, and she was actually telling me that, I was like, do you realize there's only ever going to be 24 million units of Bitcoin? And that's it. That people don't realize that. When people find that out, then, it becomes a scramble that in the next 5 years, maybe people will just be buying Satoshis, which are like decimal fractions of Bitcoin. Nobody will be able to afford Bitcoin again. But yeah, it's significant. You should pay attention because where smart money is going is an indication of what's happening. And all of this is against the backdrop of, the US election haven't gone relatively okay. The Democrats are in now. The Georgia election as well, confirming that the Democrats have full reign of power, meaning the $2,000 stimulus check is going to come back on the back of the $600 or $800 that just came out. So allow money printing to happen in 2021. That money has to find, I don't want to use the word resting place. It has to find a storage of value. So you can expect that the stock market and cryptocurrency markets are going to get hit real hard with funds. So just to give you a snapshot of what's happened in the last 4 weeks, we've doubled all-time high within the last 4 weeks. So we went from 20K, previous all-time high from 2017, to 40K. Then we've exceeded 40K now. We've hit over $500 million in market cap within the first week of January. Bitcoin essentially now the 5th largest currency in the world. That says a lot. It's over. I mean, it's even past the British pounds for that matter. So it's going to be a very interesting year for Bitcoin. Definitely, there will be a lot of volatility. Of course, the price might crash by 30% on one day and rise by 20 on another day. But you can be well assured that if you buy Bitcoin today, you are still going to make double your money at the end of the year. You can quote me on that. I mean, it's 42K today. If you buy today, definitely, you can be sure that you have 100% return on your investments. So let's move on from Bitcoin a bit, talking about institutional FOMO. I talk a lot about Grayscale because these are like the feelers or the receptors that tell us what's happening in the institution. So Grayscale is a big global investment firm. They created the Bitcoin Trust Fund in December 2019. I mean, this was a fund that started with barely $1 billion at the beginning of 2020. They closed 2020 with $20 billion in subscription to Bitcoin funds. And they were oversubscribed to the point that they had to stop it at 20 billion just because too many people wanted to buy from Bitcoin from them. So even companies now that are mining companies, their stocks are going through the roof because everybody just wants to get a piece of the pie. And these guys are buying Bitcoin at the rate of, they're buying at the rate of almost 1,200 every day or more. There are many days they buy more than that. I mean, there are only 928 Bitcoins that are produced in the 24-hour period. And these guys are buying double, sometimes 3 times the amounts. Same thing with PayPal. PayPal started, offering, I don't even want to call it, offering to buy and store Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies for customers in, I think it was in October. They originally planned to start in January. Then I think MicroStrategy bought that's $500 million Bitcoin. And because of that purchase, everybody's eyes turned to MicroStrategy. Then MicroStrategy doubled down and bought more, and their stock went 10% up. So PayPal just sort of, fast forwarded their plans and started selling immediately. And to be honest, when they started selling, they went from, I think, 5 million daily purchase to 20 million. Now they're doing 100. They're doing 100 million right now. So the daily purchase of Bitcoin by PayPal is in the range of 100 million every day. Now, it's the same Bitcoins that have been produced. I mean, there are no new ones being produced, apart from the ones produced by the miners every day and the ones already in circulation. So if you're wondering why the prices are going up so fast, this is one of the indications. Another indication is that exchange inflows are usually the amount of Bitcoins that you have on exchanges. It's reducing, and it's been reducing for the past 12 weeks, and it has not come up, and it's still reducing, meaning we are in some sort of a Bitcoin liquidity crisis because there is really not that much Bitcoin circulating. Probably you'll have about 2.6 or 2.5 million Bitcoin just being circulated right now across board. So any Bitcoins that are being bought by the institutions are being taken off into cold wallets. I mean, institutions are not, they're not willing to, or they're not in Bitcoin to make a quick buck. They probably want to hold for a few months or a few years. So there is some impending liquidity crisis. So I would not be surprised if before the end of January 2021, we already hit 100K and then we are cooling off because there's just not enough Bitcoins to go around. Just enough Bitcoins to go around. I mean, it's insane, but it is what it is. If you noticed yesterday, if you had Binance or Coinbase, when Bitcoin hit 40K, all the exchanges froze. You couldn't make an order for a few minutes. In fact, I think half of the apps that I had did not work. So like Binance, Coinbase, they were all fried because the volume was way too much. People were trying to log in. People were trying to make orders. Everything just froze. Even the major trading exchanges, my trading platforms were I was just staring at them for minutes. some of them were saying it was internet connection, but I knew what was happening was that they were being bombarded with unprecedented volumes, and their servers were struggling to adjust at 40K. So, as I said earlier on, my only advice is if you are thinking of buying, please buy. Just buy. The price might come down 20% today, but you can be sure that in the next 3 or 4 weeks, it's probably going to be more than 20%, or 30%, or even 100%, because as I'll show you the chart very soon, the curve is extremely parabolic. At this point, it's almost gone vertical, to be honest. So this is the effect of what's happening for Bitcoin. In terms of the case with XRP, they started getting delisted. If you have XRP, I'll suggest to take it to a cold wallet, because you might not get an exchange to sell your XRP if you want to hold XRP. So there's some people that are traditional holders of XRP and they want to keep it. Otherwise, you'll be best selling them. In fact, many of my exchanges have written to me to say, you know what, we're delisting XRP by middle of January. So sell your XRP to another coin, or we'll sell it to Bitcoin automatically at our own preferred rate. So I prefer to sell it myself than have them sell it on my behalf. So yeah, I think Coinbase was the first to trigger this, and the reason was that Coinbase is eyeing the IPO. The IPO is probably going to be worth a lot more now because of Bitcoin, and they don't want anything to stand in the way of the IPO. They filed last year. Many other exchanges have followed suit. You have Kraken, Binance US, Gemini, even non-US exchanges have also, indicated interest in dropping XRP. But I mean, for what it is, some people are interested in, counter trading and have counter trading philosophy. So they will probably buy because the price is steep. And the people that bought at the bottom of the market, I think they made about 20 or 30% of the investments. But for now, I'm staring clear of XRP, very far. The other information I wanted to bring to you was this information from the Office of the Currency Comptroller or something like that. This is like the branch of central bank in Nigeria that is in charge of currency. These guys are the ones that determine what the banks do and what the banks cannot do in the US. So they were the ones that said last year that banks are able to hold crypto assets on behalf of their customers. So like cold wallet keys, external wallets like Ledger or Trezor, any other assets that the banks had permission or got permission from them in, I think that was August or September last year, to start holding these keys on behalf of their customers. So now they've said that, banks can now start using public blockchain networks like Ethereum for interbank settlements. I mean, like most other things, financial institutions and government are usually the laggards. People have been trading with blockchain networks or transferring money with blockchain networks for the past 12 years. Now they're just getting to realize that it's a lot faster than their traditional Swifts and those crappy. I don't even know why they still. I mean, since these were technologies that were in place since the days of landlines, not even GSM, the days of landlines when there was fax and telex. I'm sure many people don't know. Some people don't know what telex is. So, but really, this is like, a very, very late move. They should have been doing this way back. But of course, it's obvious that, I mean, the handwriting is on the wall and they're trying to get in the fray as well. This also will allow banks to participate more in terms of crypto settlements. If you followed me in December, you realized that I was talking about quite a number of banks in Europe and Asia that were either offering exchange services or partnering with exchanges for settlements. And I think even in Singapore, it was in Singapore, the biggest bank in Singapore then was, positioning themselves to offer crypto exchange services. It's only UK that has been a bit funny, to be honest. UK has been a bit, I don't want to use the word backward, but I think because of Brexit and the desire to be separate from Europe, they've sort of cut off all the policies that they had from Europe. So right now, the policies that UK has, even regarding crypto, seems to be like 5 or 10 years backward. But I guess over the course of the year, they'll probably be able to fine tune and type things up. So in all, very strong year for cryptocurrency. I would say that if you have altcoins from 2020, your altcoins should be performing very well now. Most of them, some of them have crashed out completely. If you want to buy cryptocurrency, I would advise you buy either Bitcoin or Ethereum. Ethereum is the second largest in terms of market cap after Bitcoin, and because Ethereum is a lot more ubiquitous than Bitcoin, it makes it easier for Ethereum to rapidly gain value. So right now, Ethereum came from barely $500 before Christmas. Ethereum is sitting at 1,002 now. I think it will probably go to 2,000 in the next 1 or 2 or 3 weeks. So in terms of yield as well, Ethereum is likely to yield more in terms of number of times you get returns on your money. If you're looking for returns, you probably get more returns on Ethereum than on Bitcoin. Bitcoin is like cyberspace real estate at this point. It's massive storage of value, limited supply, and highly fungible and highly functional. So if you're thinking of making a quick cash, might consider buying Ethereum or all the other ones like Bitcoin Cash or Zcash or Litecoin. But if you're looking for storage of value, retirement account, I think you should buy Bitcoin. I'm not a financial advisor. That's a personal advice, but it's an investment. It's a personal investment advice, but I think it's something to be considered. So let's go to Crypto Science, Crypto Vital Science, where we talk about what's happening in terms of market capitalization. And yeah, I always try to show this because as large as the crypto market has become in the last 4 weeks, it's still very small compared to the equities market. So the equities market is, for this figure is outdated, the equities market is probably like 40 trillion now. And in the last 4 weeks, 3 weeks actually, Bitcoin has gained $453 billion to sit at 1.1 trillion. Before we went on Christmas break, Bitcoin was, I think it was around 600 and something, 647, thereabouts. As of today, it's done 1.1 trillion. So it's now a trillion market cap. It's now a trillion market cap asset class. And you can see altcoins have also gained about 120 billion. And this is going to increase. I think if we're already seeing 1 trillion at the beginning of the year, I think we can be looking at anywhere between 10 to 15 by the end of this year, depending on how greedy Wall Street and institutions become on cryptocurrencies, generally speaking. So yeah, massive pump in terms of money flowing into cryptocurrencies. And I need to put it in perspective for you because many people don't understand. Many people think, okay, this is just a bubble that people are just hyping. It's no hype. When you have something that has a limited supply that has diminished, and you now have unprecedented new demand coming into market, you have tendency for supernormal profits naturally, because what happened was Bitcoin halving automatically pushes the price maybe by 10x or 5x naturally. And Bitcoin halving happened last year. And I said then that there was a 6-month cooling period between the halving and when the price started taking off. And that 6 months expired at the beginning of December. And between December and now, practically the price has jumped like 3 times. So what's happening is the price is going up because the supply is reducing. Meanwhile, the demand is increasing, and you're having new sources of demand that were not even on the horizon before. There are family treasuries, there are private companies. In fact, there's a news I forgot to bring up. The mayor of the city of Florida, was considering adding Bitcoin to the city treasury. I mean, and I told you about Venezuela at the beginning of December, that Venezuela, opened the mining rig by the military. The military built a mining rig that they wanted to be mining Bitcoin. So it's just a matter of time. I think this year, one of the central banks is going to come out and confess that they are accumulating Bitcoin. I think the Feds are already accumulating Bitcoin secretly. I think one of the central banks is going to be open enough to say, yes, we're storing Bitcoins, and then you see what the price will do. So it's important that you understand what this is. This is not a bubble. This is not .com. This is going to eat up the old financial institutions. completely. It's going to eat up the monetary system because it's all about storage of value. And like Michael Saylor is my new hero because he's like my mentor. He's like quantum physicist. He's an MIT engineer, and he sort of gets it from the point of quantum physics. And what it says is, anytime you collapse energy in a particular value chain, that collapsed energy must find rest. It must find rest somewhere. It must manifest itself somewhere. Think about it this way. Amazon collapsed all the energies in the libraries all around the world and make books available online. Same thing Netflix has done and made movies available for us on demand. That energy that has been collapsed from all the theaters and all the movies and all the VCRs that we used to have has resulted in the market capitalization of those companies. Same thing with Apple, same thing with Tesla. So when you have something that's quite innovative, consuming the existing order, there's going to be a massive rise in value. So people just think, okay, yeah, Bitcoin is not a speculative asset. It's no longer a speculative asset. It's an asset class on its own that has come to stay and is literally going to eat up existing asset classes. Mark my words. So you need to understand what this is. If you want to make quick bucks, yes, you can buy Bitcoin or buy Ethereum today and cash out in December. But for you to understand what I'm saying, in the future, people will be using Bitcoin as collateral to do other things. So they won't be spending Bitcoin. They will be using Bitcoin as collateral to get loans, as collateral to get equity. And same thing with many other cryptocurrencies. So this is a phenomenon that's literally going to change the way we do business. It's already changing it, but we will see the effects in the next 5 to 10 years. So I think it's something that we need to consider seriously when we're making our investment decisions. Yes, let's go to technical analysis on Bitcoin. I brought this smaller chart up because this was the last time we discussed the weekly charts. And this circled area is this circled area, just to show you where it was for context. So this circled area is the same one that you have here in this week's weekly charts. And then we were saying, if only the market can cross over 20K and go to 24K, that maybe, the market will have some considerable support on 20K. Now, this is where we are today. As I time I took the screenshot, it was 41. I think it dropped down to 48. But this is where we are today now. You can see it's parabolic. It's now almost like going straight vertical. We've not even had any, straight 5 weeks. We've not had any drop for 5 weeks. The price has been going up 5 weeks consecutively. At some point in time, yes, the price is going to take a breather. But frankly, I don't know whether it's next week or 2 weeks' time. But at some point, the price is definitely going to take a breather. So that's technical analysis on the weekly chart. On the daily chart, it's pretty much the same thing because, see, it's pretty much the same thing. The only day we had was Monday when there was a CME gap and the market dumped. So if anybody is looking for correction, you probably can wait till Monday morning. But, if you wait till Monday morning, that correction you are going to get is probably going to be today's price. So, or even more than today's price. So today's price will probably close at 42K. Over the weekend, the price might rally to 45 or 50. And then on Monday, it might drop to 45. So if it drops to 45 on Monday, even if it drops to 44 on Monday, you're still above today's price. So that's the argument against waiting for a pullback before you make your purchase. I think you just do dollar cost average. You buy at any point where you have the cash, you just buy, because at the end of the day, it's like buying land now. And somebody said this to me way back. He said crypto is like landed property. He said you don't buy landed property and start checking every month what the price is. That you just buy and hold. And that when you are ready, you'll find out, when you want to sell it, you find out what the price is, or when you want to develop it. So if you're in this for the long term, think about it that same way. It's actually a lot better than landed property, because as of now, you're not paying, especially if you're in Nigeria, you're not paying, somebody to help you guard the land and be sure that nobody has built on it or something. You don't have all the issues with area boys and the local kingpins. So yeah, it's a lot better to hold, and that's why we have this institutional fund, because all of a sudden institutions are realizing that I can't carry $1 billion in gold from Florida to Sydney without incurring about $250,000 in transportation costs. Meanwhile, I can move $1 billion in Bitcoin in literally 30 minutes at the cost of $50 or less. So it's a significant change, and people will naturally react to that, and that's what we are seeing. Another thing I wanted to say was our face of the market. I always bring this up, and I like this chart because it keeps us grounded. It keeps me grounded because then it tells me where we are in the market cycle, so that we don't get too carried away. Right now, I think we are here between belief and thrill. We're not in euphoria yet. I think when the Uber driver starts talking about Bitcoin, I think we're close to euphoria. Right now we're past belief. Everybody is past belief now. Yes, this thing is for real. And the reason I bring this up is because this is the market cycle. It will always happen this way. Now, it might be that when the market starts crashing, maybe next year, it might not crash back to 20,000 levels. But people who got in maybe like 200,000, crashed to 100,000, they'll be scared and be wondering what the hell is happening, and is the world coming to an end? But that's just the market cycle. So there will always be the speculative aspects of cryptocurrencies, and you're probably going to see this more on the altcoins. The altcoins really piggyback on the strength of Bitcoin. So when Bitcoin prices tanked, you have a rapid rush in the price of altcoins. And if the bull market suddenly comes to an end, so let's say January or March next year, altcoins will be the ones to take the largest blow. I'll give you a good example. At the beginning of the year, I had altcoins portfolio that some of them were doing 200%, 300%. By the time Bitcoin dropped in September, some of them lost 50%, 60% of their value within 4 or 5 weeks. Now they've gained some of it back now, but just to tell you how the cycle of the market affects the cryptocurrency assets. So yeah, if you, like I told someone, I said if you wanted to buy a house in 2020 or 2021, put the money in crypto, especially Bitcoin or Ethereum, then pull out the money in November or October, and that you have probably 2 or 3 times your money, and you still have the money for your property purchase or other investments. So be ready to take profits when you're in profits. That's the summary of what I'm saying here. When you see that you are in significant profit, and when you're 3, 4, 5x, you should be able to take at least your original investments, either to spend or to use or to put into other investments. But it's generally best practice to do that, because if the market suddenly crashes, then you might be holding the bags for a long time. But if you're taking profit, I have trading accounts that at some point, some of them made back enough money for me to take out my original investments, and I have portfolio of assets like that too. You take out your original investment and do whatever you need to do with it, and then you leave the rest to keep growing. So we're at this stage now where we're passing belief into the thrill phase. In the next few weeks, we will definitely be in euphoria, because the way the price is going is getting very scary. And unfortunately, the market dynamics are not allowing the price of Bitcoin to take a proper correction. So in a proper commodity or a proper asset, when you have 100% pump in 4 weeks, at least you have like a week or 2 of retracements where the market will pull back maybe like another 20 or 40%. But because there's so many people that want to buy now on an institutional level, and they want to buy very huge volume. So when the markets want to take a correction, they just block the correction with limit orders and consume the old dip. I told someone that any dip now is not up to 24 hours before it gets fully bought. I mean, good example was Monday. Market dropped 20% on Monday and fully bought. By the end of the day, it was almost like if it never happened. So it's important to keep that in perspective. And if you're holding, your holding portfolio, just keep in mind that there will be dips from time to time. And when you're in profits, take a bit of it and have a good time. This I thought this was before the other slide. Bitcoin sentiment, nothing has changed, to be honest. This was the last 5 weeks before the end of the year. We were all on extreme greed, on the fear and greed index for Bitcoin. Now we're still sitting at the extreme greed. It wasn't as bad as the week before Christmas, but it's still 93 today. I don't think this is going to change anytime soon because the sentiment is the same. Now we're in, euphoria. I mean, we're in believe and thrill. People are thrilled about the way the price is behaving and everybody wants to get a piece. So we're going to see this for a while. But when this starts to drop, then you know that there's problem. But for now, it's not going to drop. It's probably not going to change for the next 1 year, to be honest. Or maybe sometimes in the year when the price suddenly drops, it might change back to neutral or fair. But for now, I think it's going to be greed all the way. This technical analysis charts for this gauge as well. The only difference was before we went on Christmas, it was strong buy within the day. Now it's still all buy. The bias is the same, sentiment is the same, meaning we're still heavy on people buying. The buying pressure is constant. So yeah, I think that's what I had to. I was really rushing to make sure that I'm able to take people's questions before we run out of time today. So I'm going to go to Crypto Drip. What I wanted to talk about for Crypto Drip today was what is Bitcoin. A lot of people have asked me. I've tried to explain in simple terms. I've called it the stock market plus the forex market on steroids. You can note those definitions. So Bitcoin is like this, or cryptocurrency is like the stock market plus forex market on steroids. It's like internet money. It's not like internet money. It's actually internet money. The only difference is that it's encrypted, meaning it's encoded. It's almost like if I want to write my name now and I write it with a mixture of Chinese, Hebrew, Russian, and German, it's going to be very difficult at first sight to see what it is. In the same way, the encryption of the data that sits on the internet is what makes Bitcoin secure. Now, Bitcoin, even though it's the first reserve currency of the cryptocurrency world, is also not just a cryptocurrency, it's a standard. What do I mean by it's a standard? This is a bit technical, but I need to explain this in case people, get to wonder why is it so, what's the noise about this Bitcoin? The reason it's a standard is because Bitcoin created the opportunity or the platform for a whole new different asset class. So if you remember the days of the Y2K before the year 2000, when there were all sorts of internet companies and everything, there was a lot of buzz around Y2K then and about how companies were going to use e-commerce to revolutionize the world. It didn't make sense then because the websites we had then were like Web 1.0 or 2.0, where most of the web were just pictures and chats or text characters. Those were the things that were on websites then. That was the available technology for websites at the time. Now we move from the static image to dynamic image to dynamic text to interactive text in the web technology. Then we move from that to commercialization of the web technology using e-commerce. And then we found out that, we could do things that we would ordinarily have done physically on the web. It is the product of that web technology that brought about Bitcoin or something like Bitcoin. Because if web technology had not advanced to the point where it did, we would not have been able to achieve what is known as Bitcoin today. So in the same way where technically they talk about internet control protocol, ICP or TCP, which are like the protocols or the technical protocols that direct how the internet behaves. In that same way, Bitcoin is like a protocol that directs how data is passed across the network in an encrypted way and in a way that ensures that there is democratization and there is consensus audit. All big English, but in simple terms, what it means is that the web technology that gave birth to Bitcoin ensures that you can pass data from point A to point B and distribute it across everybody that is involved on that network and ensure that that data is consistent. It's on the back of that that Bitcoin was created. And of course, it was created after the financial crisis when, the market was crashing and we found out that the banks were padding their books and they were reporting rubbish. So to solve part of that problem was why the Satoshi Nakamoto group created Bitcoin. And then it was just to help initially, to help us, somewhat as a transfer of value. And then people felt that, well, if it was a transfer of value over time, people will come to realize that you can actually use this thing, to store value, and then people try to adopt it. But what happened immediately was, immediately people started using Bitcoin and found out about what Bitcoin was doing. Somebody else went and created Ethereum. So Ethereum went a step further than Bitcoin. Bitcoin was just, peer-to-peer transaction using cryptocurrency. Ethereum went to create a smart contract based on the principle of the Bitcoin technology. So the Ethereum network, as opposed to the Bitcoin network, works on the principle of smart contracts, where each smart contract is verified by all the contributors on the network. In Bitcoin's case, you just need people connected to the Bitcoin network to verify the transactions going on there. In the same way, on the Ethereum network, you have to be connected to the network to verify the smart contract. Now, these smart contracts are entire applications sitting on the blockchain that are able to do all sorts of things. And by the time Ethereum is done, there might be no financial system as we know it today, because most of the things that you can do on the Ethereum network, for instance, you won't need the bank, you won't need the insurance, you won't need the mortgage company, because all you have to do is, send your data to the smart contract, and the smart contract will auto-verify who you are, verify what you have, and verify your claim without any middleman. So this is just much more than just a speculative asset that is in a bubble phase. This is technology that is going to eat up a lot of the known sectors that we have today. Somebody asked for clarification around withdrawal of money from an exchange in the United Kingdom. So what happened was that before the activation of Brexit, most of the exchanges allow you to send money from your app to your bank account. But because of Brexit and because of the lack of clarity on the position of the government, and then the FCA rule that said, they're going to ban cryptocurrency derivatives trading for retail customers, many of the exchanges are backed off from the UK and they're not allowing. So I'll give it, for example, if I had a Coinbase account, I was able to transfer to my Coinbase from my Coinbase before now directly to my bank account. But I found out on Friday last week that my app just got grayed out. So I was like, okay, what's going on here? But apparently that's the same thing with my Crypto.com. I used to be able to transfer from my Crypto.com, even though it took longer on Crypto.com app than on Coinbase. But I can't do either now. The best I can do now is to transfer to Coinbase, one, and then transfer to my PayPal account from Coinbase. The other option is to use Swissborg. Swissborg is a relatively new app. For that app, they don't deal with cards. They deal directly with your bank accounts, especially if you're in the UK. So you need to download the app. When you download the app, register, then deposit maybe like £10 or £20 from your account. It will give you an account to link up your app to. Once you send money to that account, it's by faster payment. So you reflect in a few minutes that you've sent money. That account must be in your name. And then once you send that account with the reference and everything that will be giving you on the app, you are able to transfer money back to your account from the app. And it takes a few minutes to transfer money from the app as well. So now if I need to really need cash, I'll just transfer funds from my Swissborg my Crypto.com to Swissborg, or wherever the crypto is to Swissborg, and then from Swissborg straight to my bank account. Chinelo, I hope that answers your question. It's time for question and answers. If you have a question on... Sorry?
If you can clarify, so how do I find the app? So if I log into crypto.com, how do I find the Swissborg?
Swissborg is a different app. It's not crypto.com.
Yeah, so how do I transfer the crypto
how to transfer from...
Yeah.
See now, you keep asking me questions that's just taking any of those classes you have solved. You
that's another conversation, because if you can give me 2 minutes after just to have a further conversation regarding extra courses.
Yeah. So usually what you do is you click on, let's say Bitcoin, for instance, you click on Bitcoin in the Swissborg app and click on deposits.
Ah, okay.
Then it will show you a long hash code. If you copy that code from the Swissborg app, then go back to your crypto.com app and click on withdraw. When you
Okay.
say trade, then you say withdraw to external wallets. Then it will ask you to, you will put in so from the clipboard, you copy into, you say new wallet, you copy and paste the new wallet in, give the wallet a name, and say Swissborg wallet. And then it will ask you to verify by email. Once you verify by email, what you're saying is that you're the one adding that wallet to your recipient list. Then you'll be able to send your crypto from crypto.com to Swissborg.
Well, can't I do the same online? So if I log on to the exchange as a crypto.com exchange on my laptop,
I'm not sure you can do that on the exchange. I've never tried using crypto.com exchange before to send money. You can do it. Okay. You can send it from crypto.com exchange directly to Swissborg as well.
Okay, and not to my, I can't still do it because I was reading and it was saying I can do that and transfer it to my account, transfer it to GBP, and then obviously it becomes cash. I can transfer it back to my account.
Let me find out.
Please, yeah.
This Brexit
I read it somewhere. I can send you the link. Actually,
yeah, you can send me the link. But
yeah,
because Brexit has messed up a lot of the existing settings on many of the apps.
If I may come in, Dr. Demi.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, what she's saying, I have tried it. It would seem as if it's going to go, but eventually it will not go. So what Dr. Demi has recommended is what I would advise that you stick to.
Okay.
Because there are some of us that actually wanted to do some clever moves, but it doesn't work.
Okay.
But you could still give it a try.
No. As far as you've tried it and it worked for you, I don't want to try. Thank you. I'll do.
Okay. On the other hand, if anybody needs to change crypto, if it's not too much, I can help with that. If you need to buy or sell Bitcoins.
Okay.
So give me a shout if you need help.
Well, so can I ask another question quickly before someone else? So I'm thinking of my strategy is to take a profit and then obviously transfer. First of all, I wanted to actually, because I don't know, I've just jumped into this without even knowing how crypto.com works, the app. So what I want to do, or what I'm assuming that at first I thought it worked like stock, that I can actually get my profit and then reinvest my profit and buy more Bitcoin, but it's not giving me that option. So what I want to do is take out my profit.
So if you want to do that on the app, for instance, you will sell your Bitcoin to True USD. So you have the option of selling your Bitcoin to True USD, USDC, or USDT. Those are stable coins, which helps you to bank profits. So depending on how much profit, let's say you have one Bitcoin, you want to bank 50% profit. So you sell 0.5 to USDT or to True GBP. Let's use True GBP. There's True GBP as well of the app. So if you sell 50% to True GBP, what it means is that you've banked 15K out of the one Bitcoin. If you now want to buy Bitcoin back, let's say, for whatever reason, the price comes back 5%, you can just, in the same manner that you sold, you can buy back or buy other assets.
Okay. I think.
Or if you want to buy other assets directly, like Ethereum, Litecoin, Chainlink, from Bitcoin, you could actually also buy them directly the same way you're selling to USD or True GBP.
I'm so glad I joined this call. Just joining this call, you're giving me a few options. So thank you.
You're welcome.
Is Dr. Olalere in?
I think he is. I thought I saw him somewhere.
Please help me call him.
I think he's on the call.
I'm very, very positive he's never going to answer me.
If anybody has question on Instagram, please just type in your question. I think we have about 4 minutes left on Instagram before the live runs out. So yeah, we're back every Friday. If there are any topics you want me to talk about before then, you can hit me up on our WhatsApp group. If you want to join the WhatsApp group and you're on Telegram, and you're on Instagram, you can send me a DM. I'll add you to the WhatsApp group. But if you have any topics you would like me to cover ahead of any of the sessions, any of the weekly sessions, just hit me up and I'll take that.
Are you able to just give me 1 minute after the call so that we can talk further on further courses?
Sure.
No Thank problem. You.
Dr. Demi, is the recording of the other week still available?
Yes, so there are two ways I keep the recordings down. Well, I don't do all the recordings on Zoom all the time anymore. So, but I have the recordings on my YouTube channel, Crypto Pulse Weekly with Dr. Demi. So all the recordings are there for at least the last 10 to 12 weeks. Then I have the recordings on Instagram. Like if you're on Instagram as well, usually I'll keep the recordings saved on Instagram TV as well. So, but today's one I have this recording on Zoom as well. Zoom has been complaining that I've used up my recording quota, so I'm very wary of recording on Zoom before they zap it. But I have the recordings now. I have recordings on Instagram and I have it on YouTube, so you can always get the YouTube.
More quota will be added to you once Trump is out, so don't worry. Don't mind me.
So if there are no other questions, I'll be happy to close for the day and wish everybody a happy new year and a prosperous new year as well. I know it's difficult times. Well, I think it's a good time as well to make sure that we improve our money-making skills, quote unquote, and take advantage of wealth transfer that's happening. I think there's significant wealth transfer that's happening before our very eyes, and we need to take advantage of it, regardless of our geographical location. So I want to wish everyone a very fantastic 2021. Have a lovely one.
Thank you, and same to you.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Same to Dr. Valerie, though he doesn't want to talk to me.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys on Instagram. Thank you, Dapo. Thank you, Tolu.
Dr. Valerie.
About Dudu, thanks, man.
Anima, respect.
Respect, Floyd.
Dr. Demi, I was almost going to start protesting when I heard that word, but because of the Aluta I back off.
Now, well done.
Yeah. Okay, see you next Friday. Thank you so much.
All right. Take care.
All right. Bye now.
Dr. Demi, nice one, though. I did here.
Now, well done. Happy New Year.
Same to you, my brother. I'm have to call you. So
no problem.
Verify for you to put me through some things like that.
No problem. No problem.
Okay. Nice
talk
one.
later. It's going fine. All right, Chinelo, do you want me to call you?
Sorry?
Or do you want to take this call? You want to stay on the call?
Yes, please.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. So it's regarding those courses.
Yes.
Yeah. Because I want to see. I don't know if it's something I could read and understand myself, or if it's something you could. I don't know if you want to. If you, I don't know the sort of courses you take, or if you actually take people on those courses.
So the courses they are video recordings.
Oh, okay.
Basically the only prerequisites you need is to download Binance. I'll send you the link. Binance Exchange and register on it. That gives you some context because most of the screen shares that were done there were done on the Binance Exchange. By the time you've gone through the courses, so the first one talks about the basic things to look out for in the exchange, and then the second one talks about more advanced concepts and how to actually enter and exit trade and all that. And of course, a number of questions also came up during many of those sessions. So if you by the time you've gone through both of them, and because you already have a background in trading stock, I think it's actually be a lot easier.
Okay.
And then it gives you frame of reference when you're asking me question, because then you have better context.
Okay. In terms of cost, can you revise or give me a bit of discount, please, if I may? Seriously,
it's not about market now.
Because I'm spending a lot in all these courses. It's
the information I'm giving there too. I mean, I can't even tell people how much I spent to get some of this information because it's insane. But if you understand that information is well, and in this age that we are, it's literally the difference between poverty and wealth. I mean, I can tell you that for free. There are courses that are paid for in thousands of pounds, just to, and some of the things they told me in the courses, I already knew them, but there was some additional information that if I didn't have those information, I'll probably not be as profitable as I am right now. Because just a simple, concept or an additional concept to what I already knew changed the whole game. So it's important that if I was going to charge for the courses, I should be charging like £500, but I just felt, most of the initial people that will use the course are, Nigeria people or people of color, and we should at least make some efforts to encourage people to actually better themselves. That's why I'm, giving it out for free. And I told you, then that wasn't going to, that it wasn't about the money, but it was about the principle. If people
so you
are
actually,
paying,
as in, is like it. Is it the same as like the course you just this is not a course, it's like
this is just like a podcast now.
Exactly. So it is like actually teaching, because I need to understand. It is.
Yeah, it is actually teaching. It's actually teaching now. The actual concept. I sent you the structure. I sent you the structure of the courses as well.
Okay. So you're not giving me any discount then? Is that what you're saying?
No, it's not. And it's no hard feelings. I mean, you should know that by now there is no hard feelings. It's just a matter of principle. You say this Dr. David guy is a hard guy.
Sorry?
I say, I'm sure you're wondering that this David guy is a hard guy.
Yeah, you sound very hard, honestly. I need to buy the 2 courses, don't I? It's
Yeah, because you also need to have more context, because the more context you have, the better your decision making.
Apart from I'm that sort of a person. I've always wanted to buy Bitcoin anyway, and I had issues trying to. And I mean, when I said that I didn't quite understand what's it called, crypto.com. It's a strange app, to be honest. It doesn't give people a lot of. It's not very intuitive, to be honest. It's well,
it's because the way cryptocurrency functions generally is a bit different from stocks. So the only app that can probably be similar would have been Coinbase app, but Coinbase app itself, Coinbase app is I think it's too expensive in terms of charges and all that.
It doesn't tell you your initial what's it called, capital, what
it does.
And it doesn't give you what your profit is. It's not.
It doesn't give you all of that. It doesn't give you all of that, in fairness. It just tells you can only deduce how much you bought it from.
Precisely. And I find it a bit weird. So it's a guessing game. it's
well, it's also because of the nature of the asset class itself. So to do that, what I did, and I think I told Yinka as well, I have a separate app that serves like my portfolio manager.
Oh, okay.
So on that app, CoinGecko app, anytime I make a purchase, portfolio as a purchase, I just update the app with that purchase, the date, and how much I bought it and the fees. The app automatically then updates itself with the current rates, and it's able to show you your P&L either in the last 1 month or in the last 1 year. So that's the one I use to just update my portfolio. And because at some point I had over 40 something coins, so it was getting a bit confusing to know which one was a profit and which one was not. And it turned out actually to be very useful. It was very useful because I was doing an assessment of my portfolio in December, and it was very, very useful because it helped me to make some very good decisions. So I used that app to just supplement. There are two of them, but I found the CoinGecko one was much intuitive. It helped me to just place, like I say, okay, this one has grown by this or so. This is my percentage loss so far on this particular one. This is my percentage gain on the overall portfolio. It gives that. It might not be as granular as what you have on some of the stock apps, but because it's like an aggregator of the data you put inside, it helps you. So you understand that, okay, when I bought this, it was, $5 actually, but now is $100. It might not be the same value in Bitcoin, but at least the dollar value has gone up.
Okay.
So that's how I manage it.
Okay.
I'll send you the link to.
Please, yeah, and I'll send you a message on WhatsApp once the transaction is done, and so that you can. I will get the what's it called straight away.
The link, yeah.
No,
yeah.
I mean for the courses.
Yeah.
So once I've done the transaction, I'll let you know that it's been paid, so that you can send me the link to the courses.
Yeah, no problem. And once you've once you've gone through the courses, then we can discuss whatever questions you have, subsequent questions. Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, no problem.
And what you're saying in terms of taking, just my last question, in terms of taking profit, so you think to leave, if I can wait, because I think it's gone down to 40, maybe on Sunday, take the profit?
Yeah, I think you should wait till Sunday evening. I think that there might be some price action over the weekend. I think you should wait till Sunday.
Okay, brilliant. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. But I'll send you, I'll do that tonight, and I'll send you a confirmation that I've paid, so that you can send me the, Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
All right.
Have a good evening. Bye-bye. Also, sorry, finally, the link to this, because I know that you've been doing this podcast. Where do I get the link from?
The YouTube. Link. I'll send it to you.
Please. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hi, Dr. Tim.
Okay, bye-bye. Bye.
Bye. Who is King's Kid?
Dr. Dime. Yeah, I'm the one.
Show your face.
I'm the one. Hi. Sorry. You can't know my face, actually. I'm actually part of this group on WhatsApp. So I'm teaching from time to time. Yeah, I'm sure you know the WhatsApp group I'm talking about. What's his name now? This is your friend.
5 comes to 5 million.
Sorry?
Which WhatsApp group? 5 comes to 5 million.
Yes, 5 comes to 5 million.
Okay.
Yeah, 5 comes to 5 million. Yeah. So I try to join your teachings as much as I can. Yeah. So sorry, my question is not really on crypto. But I've been wondering actually how you try to integrate this YouTube to Zoom. I don't know if you can help me with the app. Is this something you pay for?
How I integrate what? You broke up a bit there.
YouTube to Zoom. I think it's happening concurrently in YouTube, I guess.
Yes.
Yes. So how are you able to do it? Do you use an app to
no, because I'm using Zoom. I have a paid for subscription with Zoom.
Okay.
So because of that paid for subscription, it comes with a package that allows